Hello, everybody. My name is Cameron Bost, and this is my presentation on active learning. Starting off, we need a definition of what active learning is, and it's a form of learning that gets students directly involved. This can mean what we do in our own math class, like Poll Everywhere, or it can be when students are finding the answers along with the professor or going into separate groups in order to find answers. There's many things that account for active learning, whereas passive learning would be the opposite, meaning that students would not have any direct role in their learning. This would be as if a student was just sitting during a lecture and was not able to interact with the professor anyway. They would just be taking in information, possibly taking notes, but not contributing in any way. And this presentation was made to find out whether or not active learning is more effective than passive learning. To find this answer, I used two search engines. Entering in the keyword active learning with a peer-reviewed filter into both ProQuest and Academic Search Premier, I found two results that I believed were satisfactory. One article on how effective active learning was on STEM majors, and another article on how medical students perceived an active learning strategy that was used on them. The STEM study was a meta-analysis of 255 studies. They used multiple colleges and multiple courses and evaluated their scores on multiple assignments and multiple forms of active learning. They then compared these scores with courses that had passive learning techniques and functionally identical assignments. They did the same with course fail rates, whereas a D or an F grade would count as a fail for this study. Through comparison, they discovered that active learning had a 6% increase in scores, and that passive learning made students 1.5 times likelier to fail. The second study had 18 second-year med students trained in making multiple-choice questions. It had 18 second-year med students trained in making multiple-choice questions create a question word bank. There's a 50-50 split between males and females, and the average student age was 26. The students were then split into two groups after making the word bank, or the question bank. 8 were put into a focus group, while 10 were given a survey. Both group answers came to the consensus that making multiple-choice questions as a group active learning strategy provided them with problem-solving strategies that they would not have had on their own, and also gave them an appreciation for multiple-choice exams that they did not have before. The second study had a much better sample to represent what we're trying to find. Multiple schools were studied throughout both the US and Canada. Multiple classes and multiple STEM majors were used. Multiple active learning strategies were used. This eliminates many variables, meaning the study provides ample evidence that active learning is more effective than passive learning as a teaching strategy. The only stipulation it does not account for is non-STEM majors. The second study is not as strong, as it took place with a smaller group. All of these students in this group did share a specific class teaching them how to make multiple choice questions. And multiple choice question making was their only form of active learning. This means that it is harder to apply these results from these students to what we are trying to find in this study. However, I believe it's still a reasonable conclusion to say that students will benefit from active learning being implemented in the classroom. And active learning is, to answer our question asked before, an effective strategy in teaching. I believe that if we implement it in more classrooms, we will likely see more results come in beyond even STEM majors to prove that as a learning strategy, active learning would improve grades. This has been my presentation, and I thank you.